Genesis 360 begins its campaign for the invisible frontline. We all applaud the frontline health workers, collectors, among others who work day by day to fight against the COVID-19 pandemic. But there's also another first line, anonymous, invisible heroes who perform the essential task of keeping hospitals, supermarkets, offices, and homes clean, a front line that fights against the virus day and night. However, many of them are undocumented. They do not receive any government or private aid and are heroes left to their own devices. Genesis 360 advocates their inclusion for these workers to finally have the necessary documentation so that they receive the assistance they deserve. Genesis 360, so that the invisible front line is included. May we all see and applaud them for their work. Genesis 360, connect your senses.
Hey, welcome everyone. Happy Monday. Welcome to another week, another Cooking with Paula. Today we have an amazing recipe, super simple and easy and delicious. We are going to make lemon blueberry muffins that you are going to love this recipe. But before we start, let's go. Thank you to our sponsor, Ancora, Dress to Swim. I have all the ingredients ready today, and they are a few ingredients and you're gonna make something amazing. Are you guys ready? Let's do this.
Paula Zavala.
Welcome. You know, I woke up this morning craving these delicious lemon blueberry muffins. Right now is the lemon season. Everything, I just want to have lemon and lime because it's in my blood. So let's make these muffins that are super simple, like I said. You can use an industrial mixer, you can use an electrical mixer, but you can also make them by hand with a whisk and a bowl. But before we start, let me give you the ingredients. So we need 1.5 cups of flour, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 1 cup of Greek yogurt, plain, 3/4 cup of sugar, 3 large eggs, 1 tablespoon of lemon juice and the zest, a teaspoon of vanilla, 1/2 cup of oil, 1/2 cup of blueberries. And if you would like to glaze your muffins, we need 3/4 cup of icing sugar and 2 tablespoons of lemon. All right, let's do this. Okay, so guys, if you like to bake, you might know this, but this is a super simple tip that you guys need to know. First, we usually mix the wet ingredients, and then we do the dry ingredients at the end. Where does the sugar go? Sugar is always a wet ingredient. Do you know that? Because when we mix sugar with that, when you work with the sugar and other ingredients, the sugar melts and it becomes liquid. So we're gonna just start with that. We're gonna start with our eggs. We're gonna put the eggs in a bowl. Then we're gonna add our sugar, which is right here. So sugar in the bowl with our eggs. We're just gonna mix this really, really well. You just wanna make sure that the sugar dissolves with the eggs. We can add our vanilla extract. Guys, buy real vanilla. There is nothing like real vanilla, which by the way, the best vanilla in the world, yes, it's from Mexico and from Madagascar. The best vanillas. And do you know that the vanilla is an orchid? A lot of people don't know, and I find this fascinating. All right, so we're just gonna mix really, really well. Over here, sugar and eggs. Now that I can see that my sugar has been dissolving, we're gonna add our oil. You can use any oil that you like that has no flavor, like a neutral oil. It could be avocado oil, it could be canola oil, vegetable oil. I just don't like to use olive oil because it has a really strong flavor. Also coconut oil. I know it's healthy, but when it comes to these kind of desserts, I don't want the flavor of the coconut oil to be very powerful. So I just rather use, I just had a neutral oil. Okay, so this looks beautiful. Look at this. Now we're going to add our yogurt. Be very careful, guys, that when you use yogurt, it doesn't have, like it's not vanilla, it doesn't have any other flavor, just plain Greek yogurt. And Greek yogurt is full of protein. It's always better to have the Greek yogurt more than the other one, just the plain one, just because there's almost double the protein intake. So that is always a great option. So we're just adding our yogurt. The yogurt is going to make our muffins to be really moist, and they're going to be really beautiful, creamy, moist. This is just the special thing. That's it. Now we're going to add our lemon juice and lemon zest. I just have them here together. And this is going to give our muffins a really fresh, lemony, amazing flavor. The lemon zest is super important. And you guys need to know, when you zest lemon or lime, make sure that you only zest the yellow or the green part. Do not do the white part that is underneath the yellow, because that part is bitter. So make sure that you only use the color, the first layer. All right, so this is here. This looks beautiful. Now over here, we have our flour. So we're going to add our baking powder, salt, our baking soda. Guys, you know how I have all the ingredients ready here? This is called mise en place. It's super important because that is going to make your baking easier, and you're going to make sure that you don't forget any ingredients. This is way, way better than going running back and forth, like, oh, wait, I need flour. Oh, I need the baking powder. So by the time you are baking, the kitchen is a disaster. Everything is a mess. You forget ingredients. So if you mise en place, you're going to see how you're just going to do everything way more efficient and faster. Like, look at me. I got all the ingredients. I know I'm not missing anything. All right. So that's it. Now we're going to add our dried ingredients in here. So let's just quickly recap. What do we have in here? We have our eggs with the sugar, the vanilla, the oil, and the Greek yogurt. That's it. Beautiful. Now we're going to add the flour. When I add the flour, I do not want to overbeat my batter, so I add maybe half of it just to incorporate. Make sure that there's no lumps, that is super smooth. That's it. Beautiful. And then we're going to add the rest of my dried ingredients. Super simple. Guys, it already smells good. I can smell the lemon juice, the lemon zest. Look at this. It's super important that when you bake, usually in the ingredients, the very first step is preheat your oven. And that's very important. You really have to preheat your oven. It usually takes like half an hour. So make sure that your oven is preheated before you actually start mixing ingredients. That's an important tip. All right. So now my whisk. Thank you so much, little whisk. I love my whisk. It's so satisfying to me to use a whisk. I just love it. Now we're going to change to a spatula just to make sure that everything is incorporated just like this. Look how beautiful, thick batter I got. So simple. Look at this. This is exactly how it should look. If you don't have lemons, you can use always a lime. For those who are in Mexico, Latin America, yes, sometimes it's hard to find lemons, and limes are absolutely everywhere. But that's fine. You can use lime. It's a little bit more acid. The flavor might change a little bit, but that's totally fine. It's okay. Don't worry. Okay, so now we're going to add our fresh blueberries. So I've got my blueberries here, and I'm going to give you a little tip over here. When you have the blueberries, add a little bit of flour. Not too much, just a little bit of flour. Just cover them with flour. And this is going to help the blueberries to create a little layer, like a layer here, so they won't go to the bottom of the muffin when they are baking. Just a little tip. So over here, look how beautiful this already looks. So I'm just going to slowly incorporate my blueberries. I don't want them to break and color my batter. I do not want my batter to be purple. And you guys can also use frozen blueberries. You can use strawberries, you can use blueberries, blackberries, raspberries. That's totally fine. Just put a little bit of flour, like I told you, and they will work beautiful. Okay. So we're just mixing well. And I like to use my ice cream scoop. I use my ice cream scoop all the time, not only for ice cream. I use it for so many other things. Some of you know I do catering, and every time I do catering, we have to make appetizers. We have to do so many things, and I've got all sizes of ice cream scoop. Like, look at this, and I use them for so many things, right? I think they are just fascinating to use. So if you have a couple, guys, use them for many other things, not only ice cream. Okay, so now with my ice cream scoop, I've got over here my muffin tray with my little beautiful papers, and my oven is already warm. It's at 350 degrees. So we're just going to add 1 scoop of our beautiful batter. Look at this. This is just beautiful. I love the color that the blueberries is going to give my muffins. I also love the just the flavor, lemon and blueberries. They are like husband and wife. They just love each other. All right, so from one recipe, guys, that I gave you, you can make 12 muffins. I'm only making half the recipe because I already made more and I have so many in the house. All right, so we're just gonna add the last one. Make sure that when you put your batter here, you are as clean as possible, because you don't want to have batter everywhere on your tray, and then that's going to get burned, and then it's going to be hard to wash. And just let's try to be clean, so that's always easier in the kitchen. Perfect. So my muffins are ready. They're going to go to the oven, 350 degrees for 55 minutes. And there they go. Beautiful. All right. And because this is television and the magic of television is amazing, you see how fast I made them? Look at this. Ta-da! These are beautiful, ready. Look at this. Look at these beautiful blueberry muffins. They are amazing. And you know me, every time I make something, I have to plate it in a beautiful plate. But before we eat them and before we try them, let's glaze them a little bit. You'll see how easy this is. So I'm just going to put my muffins in here. And to glaze, I've got icing sugar. And then we're going to add some lemon juice. Let's get our lemon here. So we're going to add a little bit of lemon juice. You don't really need much liquid, maybe a tablespoon or 2. You can always use milk to make a glaze. But because these are lemon blueberry muffins, I really want to use lemon. So we're just going to mix until you make a nice glaze. That's it. Do you know that you make a glaze with 2 ingredients? Lemon juice and icing sugar. And voila, look at this. Beautiful. They look so pretty. All right. So we're just going to put a plate here. Let's put one of our muffins, and let's do this. Oh my gosh. Pretty, pretty, pretty. Blueberry lemon muffins. Let me show you over here, guys. Look at this. They are delicious, easy to make, super fresh. You make them in 15 minutes, they are in the oven. And an hour later, you have breakfast, beautiful with a tea, with a coffee. This is a great recipe when you know, sometimes when I invite my friends over, my girlfriends for a coffee in the morning, I just make this quickly put them in the oven. My house smells like heaven, and it's just so delicious. Amazing. Thank you so much, guys, for being here another week. Please don't forget to follow us at Genesis 260. Thank you so much for your comments, for your shares, for your likes. Follow me on my personal social media, Paula Zavala Chef. And if you have any questions, please don't hesitate. Just email, call, and give us any suggestions. And thank you so much, Arturo, production, our producer, everybody on the other side. Have an amazing week, everyone, and thank you for coming. I just can't wait. Delish. Have an amazing week, everyone. Bye-bye.